Animals have lived on our planet for millions of years. When humans came into the picture, we learned to adapt and live alongside them, which led to the domestication of these miraculous creatures. Animals were then trained to entertain audiences around the world in traveling shows and circuses. This, however, was seen more as a kind of cinema of attraction that would abuse animals for the entertainment of the masses. But when animals started appearing in films, that's when people started taking these animals seriously. This was a changing point in the film industry, not only for showmanship, but for animal rights, since the three animals we are going to be taking a look at today were much more than simple additions that sold tickets to the movies. They were movie stars themselves. These animals made a career for themselves and their owners, lived a life of luxury in some cases, and even influenced animal rights efforts that would help the next generation of their species. Just like actors themselves, animals can convey a variety of different emotions to keep audiences engaged during a film. And the 1943 film Lassie Come Home, starring Pal the Rough Collie in his first acting role, demonstrated this phenomenon perfectly. The film was a prime example of the benefits received from using a real-life dog on set rather than resorting to any other means. Audiences enjoyed the simplicity of the Lassie films, and they could see a genuine connection between the actors and the dog. The heartwarming and tragic events of the film hit even closer to home, because Pal was able to portray different emotions that could only be believable coming from a living creature. Due to the success of Lassie Come Home, there were dozens of films made featuring Pal, who became a star of his own and launched the careers of many other rough collie dogs who would work alongside him. With this rise in popularity, the dog was treated like an A-list celebrity who rode around in a limousine to various film sets and had many adoring fans. Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer Studios even featured Pal in their 20th anniversary class photo, which included many of their famous actors as well as Lassie, who was prominently displayed in the front row of the picture. Even though Man's Best Friend wasn't the easiest actor to work with on set, since Pal needed to first be trained before acting in a movie, it was still much easier than working with a 600-pound grizzly bear. This is Hercules, a grizzly bear from Scotland who originally starred in a traveling wrestling show with his owner Andy, who trained and bonded with the bear ever since it was a cub. To the media's surprise, Hercules wasn't aggressive at all, and almost acted like a human, which gave him the status of a celebrity. After this, the bear starred in many commercials, TV shows, and movies, and even moved to California because of his high demand as a star. Hercules also lived a life of luxury like a celebrity, and his owners even built him a bear sanctuary where he had everything a bear needed. Hercules later died of old age after suffering a back injury that was caused by standing on his hind legs too frequently. This is especially important because it shows that just like an overworked actor, animals can also be pushed too hard and suffer because of it, which proves the necessity of animal rights in the film industry. While both Pal and Hercules experienced some kind of celebrity life as a result of acting in the films that they did, Keiko the killer whale was able to make a remarkable impact on the animal rights efforts of freeing captive orcas. Keiko starred in the 1993 movie Free Willy, but unlike the film's happy ending of Willy escaping captivity, Keiko was still a captive whale, since the ending scene was done entirely using digital effects. However, after the production team worked with Keiko for the film, they wanted Hollywood to partner up with animal rights activists to free him from the aquatic park. Keiko was later transported to a whale rehabilitation center, and then, after that, Keiko became the first captive orca to be released back into the wild in 2002, which spawned a chain reaction of animal rights efforts to free other captive whales and send them home. Free Willy also inspired many children who were touched by the film, and a whole generation wanted to help get orca whales back to their home. Since then, many laws and regulations have changed when it comes to breeding orca whales in captivity, and it all started due to the massive success of an orca whale's performance on film. These animals not only contributed to the history of film as a unique staple of the industry, but they actively rewrote it, and changed the public's views on animals in film by becoming actors themselves. Nowadays, films are switching over to digital effects for scenes that call for wild animals, and while they can serve as a cheaper and easier way of having a wild animal on set, they will never be able to make a lasting impact on the industry and film history as a whole. A CGI dog couldn't garner the same emotional reaction from audiences as Lassie did. A computer-generated bear couldn't teach us the importance of animal rights in show business as Hercules did. And a digital orca whale couldn't start a movement to save many others like it as Keiko did.
Hello, Lassie. Thank you. I have to tell you, Lassie, I have interviewed many performers and many filmmakers, and I really am a bit nervous because you're really quite special. I don't think there's a kid alive who didn't grow up seeing some of your performances and perhaps being even rescued by you. But I appreciate your being here and agreeing. I know you're a very private star, and